Hello everyone, it's me, Matty's Masquerades. Today I am going to be streaming uh, Liminal Dreams. This is a game that I recently got off of itch.io. It's by the indie developer Crimson Cat, or Crimson Cat. I got it recently out of a bundle for raising money for the earthquakes in the recent earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Yep. So yeah, this will be the final one of my smaller tests. After this, it's time to go back to bigger. It'll be time to go back to doing longer streams. Oh, but I gotta remember to run stream labels. Where is stream labels? Stream labels. Got the chat up. And let's see if Liminal Dreams is located in the game list on YouTube. If it's not, then not the end of the world. Hope y'all had a happy Memorial Day weekend too. I went up to a comic book store called Third Eye in Annapolis in the area. Man, that's one big. That was one big store. Liminal Dreams isn't listed in the list, so I won't be listing it here. Goodbye. So, hello. I'm going back to the stream now. Alright. Now time to start the game back up, and let's see if the sound works. Okay, now the whole screen's not working. That's weird. Let me go back to this, and I'll change window capture. Let me change the window capture to this game. Other bit Windows 10. There we go. Now there's actually no audio coming from the game right now, but there's no audio being played right now. There was a brief intro, but okay, the desktop audio button isn't working. So before I continue playing the game, properties. Now let me see if that worked. There we go. All you're hearing is footsteps. So it looks like we're jumping right into the action here. Literally. What button am I supposed to push? There was now there were some instructions that came in a zip file package with the game. I'll go find time to go find those instructions. Time to go find that instruction text file. The instruction. It is in E. Emulator. Other indie Liminal Dreams. How to play, WASD. Use the mouse to move. Mouse camera, space jump. Left shift for run, left control for crouch, E to interact. Looks like I won't be interacting with that one. Left control duck, left shift runs. Left shift. Can't run in this room, I get. Oh, yes, you can. Can I crawl like in Mario? Yep, I'm either crawling or crab walking. Can I open this door? Yes, Well, what's in this room? A jukebox and a TV and grandfather clock? Can't interact with that grandfather clock. Select dream. A pool, water, pink world, green world, yellow world, and orange world, huh? What's a yellow world, huh? Okay, if it's going to keep resizing the window, I'm going to have to go back into OBS and make this window bigger. Back to OBS one more time. Now back to the game. Run out. That door's locked. Huh? Grandfather clock works. Oh! Is my bedroom around here? Because this is starting to look familiar. Maybe get inside that chest, huh? Nope, still locked, huh? So this is kind of a point-and-click-esque game, huh? Once upon a time there was a clown. Okay. Once upon a time there was a clown. Okay. Is that all? Can't open that door. So I can set my own dreams in this game? If I find the TV room, can I set it back again? Well, there's the TV room, but I can't get to it. It's locked off. Okay. That looks like the TV. Do you want to return to the bunker? This world will reset. Yes, I do. Interesting, huh? So it's starting to make sense now, huh? Green world, a labyrinth to relax or have fun, huh? Looks more like a hedge maze to me. It's like you broke up. You broke up. What has high? Hold on a second. I'll have to resize the window once again, huh? Okay, that's not working, huh? I hope the words don't all stay off the screen, huh? I'm clicking on the game. Left control, left shift, huh? Hitting every button. Okay, left shift, left control. Okay, I just reset the window. It's all high. Well, I maximized the window and that seems to be getting the text on. Yeah, it's high. Oh, there's something I gotta click on over there, so I guess I gotta keep the window maximized. It's very boring and lonely in here, you know, huh? No one has come to visit for a long time, huh? So how about this? Let's play hide and seek, huh? If you find me 3 times, you win. 3, 2, 1, let's go! So I gotta go find Eyeball Girl. This game's like a little scared. Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, this is interesting, but first let me turn down that volume. It's kind of grating on my ears. The volume in my speaker, at least. Huh? There, now back to the game, huh? Still a little loud, huh? Turning the volume down just for my own speakers again. It just almost destroyed my eardrums. Oh, you found me. I'm gonna hide better now. Don't look. That's an outhouse. That's also an outhouse. That's all, and they're all outhouses. It's a picnic basket, huh? Can't do anything with it though. What's that mean? Entry 5. The TV has brought me to a strange place. This seems like a hyperbolic playground. I've been a strange friendly creature they only wanted to play. At first I was afraid, but in the end I have fun. There's nobody else to be seen. Ooh, I can crouch down, huh? Crouch and... Things have really changed. Things... Let's see if I can find that zombie lady. That will send me back there, but I'm gonna go find... if I can't find zombie lady, then I'll just head back, huh? They. No, you gotta stop calling it a lady. It's called a they, so... They, them. We gotta find zombie person, yes. Zombie person, huh? Gotta go find them, huh? Weird zombie. there they are. Wow, you're so good at this, huh? Okay, this is the last one. It's gonna be even harder. Find me and you'll win, huh? So where are they hidden now, huh? So let's see if I can find that zombie, huh? Yeah, do I have to look inside the toilets itself? Yes, I'm looking in the outhouse. We don't have an outhouse, huh? My tool shed, huh? Find that weird zombie, yeah? Fell again. Where are they, yeah? Where haven't I looked, huh? Maybe they're in one of the cars, huh? In one of the carousel cars, huh? But I'm gonna take one last look around. If not, then I'll just look in every one of those carousel cars, huh? Weird zombie. Okay, I don't see them in that one, huh? They're not here. They're not here. And they're not here. They're not here. That looks like a piece of chalk. I can grab that piece of chalk, huh? There's a settings button. Cool, huh? Control. But that doesn't, huh? There's nothing like that there, but... Can I draw on something? Like, is there like a whiteboard around or something? Whiteboard, huh? Because I gotta find the zombie, yeah? Where are they hidden? I can't draw on that, huh? This music is really creepy, I know, but I gotta get over there. I do not know where that zombie could be. There's another text file package with it, but I don't know if it's a guide or not. Yes, I made the jump, and ooh, looks like there's something under there. No, that's just a book. I already read that one. The picnic basket and the other. Let's see. There's a... Wonder if this is all interconnected and I need something from somewhere else. Let me go back to the TV and just go back home, huh? Or wait, well, to the bunker, huh? Looks like I'll have to just manually resize the video each time I do that, huh? Because I can't maximize this one, but there's a chance there could be some dialogue, huh? Looks like that one started off. Oh, looks like I already did everything I needed there, huh? Pink World, a ghost town in the middle of the sea, yeah? Hello, okay, now time to maximize the window again. Hello? This is really weird. It's an indie game, so I'll cut it some slack. Yeah. But let me see if I can adjust the resolution later on. Because this game has that kind of control. Hello, stranger. I need to ask you a favor. I don't have much time. My memories are slowly fading. But before that, I want to portray them in my last piece. I've been trying for hours, but all that's in my mind is this damn concrete. If you could help me get my inspiration back, I would be grateful. Please, stranger, help me before I lose myself. Yes, but first... HD resolution. Yep. Mid. Retro and PSX. There's mid and there's HD. Thing is, I usually don't do HD because it tends to cause skipping when I click out of the window. But, yeah, and in HD mode, it actually goes off the page, yeah. But, I'm gonna try keeping it like this, huh? We got a lot of more doors to open. I was just here. Recently, I randomly thought about what a Fox Kids National Anthem from 10 years prior to the first 4 Kids National Anthem would be like. I talked about this to a friend of mine. Yeah, I thought about that too. Although I mean, I was talking about Culture Clash promos that were kind of weird now. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember their cross promotion with King of the Hill with Head for the Hills? So, yeah, I mean, again, ignoring the fact that it just felt so weird seeing Hank Hill talking to the Silver Surfer and all those fantasy characters. You know, since King of the Hill is generally a more grounded show. You've seen the promo online, yeah. It's generally a more grounded show. Also, Space Goofs is French, and Ned's Newt is Canadian. Like I said, forgetting the fact that a regular old guy is talking to a alien and a giant talking newt. I mean, the fact that didn't really get any any attention from anyone, but the 4 Kids one did, just shows that it's just a war on 4 Kids instead of anything real. But yeah. There's also some rumors that Fox Kids actually showed a King of the Hill episode, but that's untrue. There's people who have all sorts of records of Fox Kids, and there's no sign of it, but there was just a big cross promotion because there was a lot of overlap with Fox Kids' target audience and King of the Hill. Because I also remember this other Mother's Day promo where they were talking about having the 2 hosts of Fox Kids from that morning, Peggy from King of the Hill and a mystery mom, and the mystery mom was a silhouette that was very, very obviously Marge Simpson. Because, yeah, I remember both Fox Kids and later on Fox Box would often have crossover cross promotions with their primetime blocks. I remember even in the Fox Box era, aside from that time I mentioned Frankie Muniz hosting the Fox Box to promote Cody Banks with the whole Fox Plays shows at night from S. Cargoon, which was all when talking about Malcolm. I remember William Hung, the guy, that one winner of American Idol, who think that She Bangs cover by Ricky Martin hosted once. I think the primetime cross promotion stopped when Because I remember they used to advertise Ninja Turtles and Shaman King during Fox primetime too, during Simpsons and King of the Hill. But I think it all stopped when Family Guy returned and American Dad premiered, just because that kind of programming was getting a little too edgy to be cross promoting with a kids block. Let me see if I can find that TV so I can get back to the bunker. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Especially, yeah. They're just, yeah. I think that, yeah. By that point, it was time to stop cross promoting with the kids block. Simpsons and King of the Hill, um, while at, while they, of course, they do have their adult moments. They're nowhere near Family Guy or American Dad's level. Yep. Huh? Because I also remember a Simpsons Life with Louie promo back in the day, and in primetime they actually did air Power. They did air Power Rangers, X-Men, and Batman the Animated Series at one point. And I think Life with Louie premiered in primetime. I heard they actually were planning to air Power Rangers Time Force in primetime as well, but they went back on that. And furthermore, I think and of course I remember there were two Foxbox preview specials that aired in primetime as well. One of which was hosted by it used to be Lost Media. You know, the Christmas episode of Life is Louie in primetime, and then they showed another sneak preview in primetime in June 1995. The show officially premiered regularly that fall. Yeah. I also remember there was that Spy Kids special, What's Inside the Fox Box, that was the first look at the Fox Box that also aired in prime time. That used to be lost media, but it was recently uncovered. But a big sign of that was like of the primetime cross promotions ending was right during the credits of that. There was a preview of that '70s show where, and during that preview, you can very clearly see Kelso trying to grope Donna. Yeah, not the thing you want to see right after a preview for a kids blog. Yeah. Embrace the concrete, and there will be stone, and we shall embrace it as our own kind, and there will be welfare, and we as one will raise. Oh dear one, here I am to serve. Oh dear one, here I am to become. The new era is approaching. We are not worthy, but we have been chosen. So we will be grateful and we will accept it. We will get rid of the dirty, weak, unworthy flesh to become stronger and to succeed as beings. Yeah. Now let's see if I can get that shell to talk. If only I could remember the past. Please, stranger, help me. Maybe I'm supposed to draw on that? Nope, that's not doing. No, it won't let me. Can I draw on the back of it? Okay, am I supposed to draw on him? I'm confused here. Oh yeah, but the other Foxbox preview special, was the more infamous one, was the fight for the Foxbox. That was like a huge crossover between everything that was on coming to Foxbox that night, where that unknown villain was recruiting all the Foxbox villains to stand against the heroes. They steal all the codes for it. when coming up with the Fox Kids 1995 national anthem, it was hard to fit all the shows into it, even aside from the Fox Clubhouse shows. There were 11 shows and only 10 verses for the characters. Yeah. Ah, man, I remember. Yeah, I was actually just talking about the Fox Clubhouse on one of my British groups on Facebook because I had only recently discovered Budgie's the Little Helicopter is actually a British show. Because I was talking about what the first British show I ever watched was. I had thought for the longest time it was Monty Python's Flying Circus, but that was just the first British show I watched that I knew was British. Budgie's Little Helicopter actually was my first though. Can I jump down there? What happened? What happens if I jump down there? Oh, just go back to the bunker. That's what. Deep noise. My first game, it was for a jam, so it's more like an experiment, but has good aesthetics. Oh! Is this about a random PS1 building? One of the first experiments. Yeah, that came to Fox Clubhouse in September 1995 along with Mumphy, another British show. Yep. The Magical Adventures of Mumphy, I remember that one. Yep. One of the first experiments with this awesome style was just a little scene in Blender. Yeah. There's a lot of things I'm finding out recently are British, yeah. Because going back to Fox Kids, there was also Mystic Knights of Tir na No was actually filmed on location in Ireland. Ooh, this place, I don't think I've ever been to this place before. And, yeah. And from the Fox Box era, despite it being filmed with American voice actors, the Cramp Twins is British, too. And are forced, and if you may remember Cartoon Network's short-lived preschool block Tickle You, a lot of those shows were British too. Little Robots, Gordon the Garden Gnome, Yoko Jakamoko Toto, and what was that? And Harry and His Bucket Full of Dinosaurs, also all British. This is a dialogue test. Press the arrow to continue. Well done. You can also skip the messages. Try to press the arrow before a sentence finishes. Too late. This is gonna be so long. Because the sooner you press it, quicker the dialogue was there. Yeah, Peppa Pig, I remember that too. Yep. However, all of those shows were redubbed with American voices, minus Yoko Jakamoko Toto, just because the entire dialogue for that is just Yoko Jakamoko Toto. Because, yeah, I noticed Gordon the Garden Gnome, Harry and His Bucket Full of Dinosaurs, and Harry and His Bucket Full of Dinosaurs are actually now on Tubi TV, and they're with their original British voices. Yoko Jakamoko Toko is on, I think it's called Wiz. That's like the children's arm of All 3 Media, which is a British distribution company, which I know also distributes PBS, one of PBS's Sunday night British shows called The Midwife, though. Sadly, Little Robots is not legally streaming anywhere in the U.S. right now, huh? Which is a shame. I really like that. I actually recently started watching that show, and I really like it. Huh? Yeah, I'm really... Orange World. Beware the traps of this Tower of Magic, huh? Oh yeah, one other Saturday morning show I know was, well, technically Irish, but when we talk about those shows in our group too, Skunk Fu was also Irish. It was created by Cartoon Saloon, which is actually known for making I'm trying a very recent movie. I'm trying to remember the name of it that went to Apple TV and it won an award. Sword something. I'll have to take a look at that later. I think they also did Secret of Kells, but don't put me on that. Yeah, Skunk Fu was toward the end of Kids WB, yeah. That princess. Trapped for God knows how long. If only could reach the top of the tower. The only one with the power to open that door. But no matter how much I try, I always fail, huh? Yep, Yeah, there's just a lot of things in my life. I've realized that British culture has influenced my life a lot. Heck, even a lot of the video games I played at the time. I mean, one of my all-time favorites, Banjo-Kazooie, is a British game by Rareware. Yep. The Legend of the Tower says that a princess is trapped at the top of this building. However, traps and spells flood its chambers, and even as the top is reached, a spell seals the door to the prisoner. Wizards, warriors, and others of great knowledge and strength have sat their home and their lives just to try to decipher the enigma and rescue the princess. Without success, huh? Oh, watch him play a little Brit. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My favorite, yeah. I always find it interesting that Rareware is a British company. Yep. Yeah. Because while they did develop the Donkey Kong Country games, yeah, they used to work closely with. That's because they were working with Nintendo at the time, and I think they just had the rights to. Nintendo had bought a small stake in Rareware at the time. Yes/no. All right. I guess I'll go back to the first place I went. See if I can do anything there, or if I can get a star on the TV. And if not, but I'm not quitting just yet. I'm gonna go. Okay, and there's no stars on those TVs. There's one more text file that came with this game. I am going to go back to Windows Explorer right now and pull up that text file. What does it say? It says last words. Oh no, this is just some. This is actually something completely different. Should I do? I'll go back to Yellow World anyway, just to see what happens. Anything I can do with that chalk? Heard something, yeah. Yeah, and more recently, of course, Cartoon Network had their Cartoonito block, and a lot of the imports from there are British too. Some of which aren't there anymore because of David Zaslav. Pocoyo, Bing, Mush Mush and the Mushables is actually a co-production of Belgium, of actually a UK-US Belgium co-production. There was Love Monster. What else was What else was there was British? There was one more. No, Lucas the Spider was American. Esme and Roy also American. Yeah, actually, I think that's all. That's for British stuff. There was Pocoyo, Bing, Mush Mush, and Love Monster, all British. Ooh, something appeared there and vanished. Was that the zombie from the other level? Maybe stuff here interconnects, huh? Yeah. You know, I've been... Because, yeah, during the pandemic, I used to just live tweet every single show that aired on TV, and then I started watching some of which I started watching were PBS's Sunday Night Masterpiece shows. Downton Abbey being one of the more famous ones of recent, but I started getting into shows like Miss Scarlet and the Duke and All Creatures Great and Small, and yeah, I mean, talking about all the other stuff, I really do miss branded television, and the only two things left of branded television are TBS's Masterpiece lineup and also Toonami on Adult Swim, so I actually kind of still live watch and live tweet those just because. Yeah, I mean, I really took Fox Kids and Foxbox and Kids WV for granted. With everything moving to streaming now, it feels like that kind of stuff is kind of a thing of the past. But I'm glad some networks are keeping it alive, huh? And yeah, one of my live tweeting friends had actually invited me into her British Facebook group, and turns out animated shows were allowed to be discussed there because I'd seen some people discussing Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep. Both by Aardman. They also did Chicken Run and the Pirates Bands of Misfits movies. More stuff was appearing in the overworld when I did stuff in those levels, so... Yeah, no. But I already did. I did this already. Oh, yeah. You can click it before the dialogue. Yeah, skip the messages. Yep. My finger slipped on that one. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Seriously. What? So I mean, yeah, I'm not even sure I'll be able to. This is an indie game that's very recent, so there might not really be any guides for it. But given how short it is, I don't know if I want to quit right. I don't think. You know what? I'm not gonna quit. I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark, and let's just hope there's something that can help me because despite getting stuck, I don't want to quit. But if there's no guides for it, then I will quit for now. Liminal Dreams guide. Yep. Liminal Dreams game walkthrough. Let's see. I'm watching a YouTube video. I got a YouTube video pulled up. This YouTube video is done by IDK Unio, Okay, so he's gonna go. Looks like they're going back into the first world that I went into, and let's see. Is it possible to enter that red door? Because I remember there was one time I didn't find the hide-and-seek zombie. Yeah? Let's see if it is possible to find it one more time. Yeah, so I might go back to that world and find it. Oh, by the way, it turns out... Oh, by the way, on that note, Budgie's Little Helicopter might not even be the first British show I watched. I remember I did have Nickelodeon briefly before that, and turns out Danger Mouse, which I think aired as part of Wienerville, of Nickelodeon's Wienerville, is also British. I remember it did air as a standalone program sometimes on Nick, but being only like 8 minutes and 30 seconds, they had to air 3 episodes in order to make it fill up a half-hour slot. Recently, Cartoon Network with Cartoonito did that with Bing and Pocoyo, And I think I remember when the Tickle You block left, Little Robots aired in the same way. Okay, looks like I'll have to start following some. Let me follow this guy backward, because it looks like I should go back to that room with the hedge maze and play hide and seek with that zombie. One more time, but I gotta figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Yep. Okay, okay, they're at the part where I read the sign that says the TV brought me a creature. It won't open. That door would. Maybe are they finally gonna get in that door? Oddly enough, I think both Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs and Little Robots ended up airing as standalone hours just by doubling up. But Yoko Jakamoko Toko just shared its slot with Peppa Pig after the Tickle You block ended. Firehouse Tales was American, so that was different because it was just a simple quarter-hour show, just air it with itself, and boom. Oh, yeah, and Gerald McBoing Boing. Yeah, Firehouse Tales and Gerald McBoing Boing were, but Gerald McBoing Boing is technically Canadian. Gordon the Garden Gnome left with the Tickle You block. Oh yeah, part of this happened because someone I know recently uploaded a recording of an old Tom and Jerry Kids episode, and we finally found it. The Now Then bumper for Little Robots. During the City era, when they would have the characters' faces on those little bumpers, and the voice would say, "Now it's this show, then it's this show. This is Cartoon Network." Yeah, we found something pretty rare recently. Now it's Tom and Jerry Kids. Then it's Little Robots. This is Cartoon Network, Didn't think I would ever find something like that, So that kind of got me curious about it, yeah. Yeah, Tom and Jerry Kids. Yeah, Tom and Jerry Kids and I think both Tom and Jerry Kids and a pup named Scooby-Doo, and usually Land Before Time movies, ended up airing as kind of like spacers for the Tickle You shows to air as standalone shows. Because yeah, also according to my research, Firehouse Tales actually is a WB produced show. Okay, we've done this one already, but I already know where to find this zombie the first time. Yep, huh? Man, frankly, I don't really understand why they would dub over. I know I've looked at old Cartoon Network schedules, and Peppa Pig and Harry was the last Tickle You shows to be. Yeah, Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs lasted on Cartoon Network proper for a long time, longer than Peppa Pig did. But I mean, a part of me wonders if it's because Nick had bought the right, or Viacom had bought the rights to Peppa Pig and it became theirs. But Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs lasted for a long time. Like about a year after Tickle You stopped. And shockingly enough, I did see standalone Cartoon Network ads for Yoko Jakamoko Toko and Little Robots. And during the credits of that Tom and Jerry Kids episode, there's also a little voiceover that is specifically about little robots, and not one of those ones where they start talking about the Cartoon Network Plaza or some other shows, and then they just switch to whatever's coming up next. They literally were talking about little robots. There's something like Tiny running the city in the Nut and Bolt tree. Little Robots is coming up next on Cartoon Network. What? There's. Because, yes, someone I know has a because I saw on someone's DeviantArt account before that was found, there were a lot of someone had recreated the Tickle Your Schedule with a bunch of faces in there, and at first I thought they were just recreations, but Tiny's head looks like that from Little Robots looked like that, but there was a head for Gordon the Garden Gnome, but like I said, that I know that didn't have a City Era head because it left with the block. So someone believes that they're flat. That those are just that they might just be be Flash assets from the old site because yeah, they did actually save a lot of Flash assets on their DeviantArt page. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. They're in one of the outhouses. Although, of course, this makes me think of a certain Simpsons quote. I remember that one in the second part of Who Shot Mr. Burns when Grandpa Simpson says, "Oh, that's it. I'm going to the outhouse. We don't have an outhouse. My tool shed." And then later on in the episode, we see Homer hosing out the tool shed. Now let me try to remember where the zombie was. Now after the second zombie, I'm supposed to be flicking. There should be a switch behind the second zombie. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. It's not that switch. Something I was realizing with my DFX is that it would have taken place 2 months before Tiny Toons and Animaniacs were pulled from the lineup. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Animaniacs was pulled from the lineup when Kids WB started. And talk about obvious silhouettes. Yeah, I remember. And old primetime specials of Kids blogs. I remember, yeah, that they showed the 3 mystery characters are coming to Kids WB. Yeah? And then we see what is obviously silhouettes of Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. All. And in some affiliates, they literally gave it away by saying it was Animaniacs. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm trying to remember where did the hide and seek zombie person go this time? They're not in the. I know I saw a Fox Kids commercial break from early September '95, and I recently recorded during Animaniacs and showed the Fox Kids' school promos. Basically hinted that Animaniacs would be pulled. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cause yeah, I don't remember. Cause yeah, I do recall Fox Kids was sometimes much more so than Kid WB. Fox Kids was usually very open about shows leaving the lineup. I remember I remember they with when Bobby's World aired its final week. I remember them blatantly making a promo saying, "Don't miss Bobby's World's final week. Next week, it's being replaced by the Magic School Bus." Yeah. Yeah. But I know they probably weren't allowed. But I'm willing to bet that Fox themselves probably weren't willing to let them advertise a competing network. Fox is the longest running cartoon in knows in terms of staying on the longest. Yeah. Because yeah, I remember going to Kids Block blog to find out about that. Yeah. And, you know, in terms of how long it was on the block, I think it might have actually been the second longest show, period, behind Power Rangers. But, oh. But yeah, of course, obviously they weren't. They were hinting that Animaniacs would be pulled, but they couldn't advertise Kids WB. And that also was another thing that bled into the 4Kids era. I remember when the CW 4Kids started and when Yu-Gi-Oh! GX left the lineup, they couldn't blatantly say where it was, so before when it was going to air, they had a promo with Yugi saying, "Looking for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? Go online to 4kids.tv and see what we've been up to, and you can watch my original adventures on the site too." Just, you know, it was like them giving a subtle hint that it was moving without them blatantly saying it's moving to another network just so they don't get in trouble with the network. Let's see, where am I? Although I do recall when Ninja Turtles and Cramp Twins were on Cartoon Network, they did say something about you can watch them on another channel, but this without blatantly saying which one. But the new one, but the new episodes are still on Fox or something like that. As for Tiny Toons, I noticed that went over to Nickelodeon, but since they just had cable rights, Kid TV could have aired it during year one if they wanted to. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Broadcast and cable rights are generally different things depending on how it goes. Yeah. All right, so okay. Now here's where I'm gonna have to follow the guide. Okay, yeah, we've witnessed this dialogue a bit before. So right after I talk to the zombie, I will flick the switch behind them. Then, okay, back to YouTube. Now which way is the guy going? All right. Crouch through that hole. All right, go forward. Crouch through the hole. Crouch through the hole. Crouch through the hole. Crouch through the hole. Keep going. Over the blue block. Duck under. I think that's what they did. They ducked under. See the red door. I don't know if you can open that red door. Oh, they ducked back under it and went over to the block. Alright, over to the black block. Alright, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna be mimicking the guy just because I'm stuck, and like I said, and with only 4 little things to do, I don't want to quit the game now, huh? Yes. Alright, huh? Now, what did that do, huh? Yeah, if I ever think I could take it from there, then I will turn off the guide and just go back. Oh! Looks like the red block is down now. Actually, maybe I can take it from here. Whoa, this is new. You know what? No guide for now. That little thingy was all I needed. That little push was all I needed. Problem is, I don't know how to get in there like that. That looks like a sun catcher. And if I jump down here, what happens? Well, I've been here before. Yeah. All right, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now, so back to the guide. Let's see, what are they doing in the guide? All right, they're doing exactly what I just did. They picked up a sun. Are they gonna go pick up the sun catcher, or are they gonna do something completely different? Oh, that's not the sun catcher. That's somewhere completely different, huh? Okay, back out. Back to the fountain, huh? Can I get back to the fountain? Or do I have to flick the switch again? Because they didn't flick the switch in the guide, huh? Alright, let me go back and, back to the guide, rewind a bit, huh? Okay, so right after that, I'll just watch the video one more time, huh? Okay, so they go under there, red door, they see the red door, they duck back under. They go back to the black block, huh? Flick the switch, huh? Under the red block, under the red block. Looks like they are going through the hole. Then through the other hole. The right hole. Oh! Back to the area with the sun catcher, huh? I don't know if that's actually called a sun. Wait, that's not what a sun catcher is. That little thing. It's a dream catcher, not a sun. A sun catcher is one of those. Is one of those little clear thingies you paint. A dream catcher is that thing with the. That looks like you play cat's cradle with it. Whoops. Getting my terminology mixed up. Right, so now I'm back in the area with there's the outhouses, with the benches, Is there anything in the picnic basket, Oh yeah, although going back to British shows that were redubbed, there is one British show that I am not surprised was dubbed over, and that American accent voices, and that's Thomas and Friends. Um, However, that has more to do with its presentation. For one, they changed the Fat Controller to Sir Topham Hat, so of course they had to fix that, and also, Shining Time Station was created as a wraparound, because the show was too short for American TV, and the Thomas stories were made as being told by Mr. Conductor, who of course was voiced by George Carlin. Ringo Starr did the narration in the British version, so George Carlin did the narration in the British version for continuity purposes alongside Shining Time Station. But even in the prints on Amazon Prime, Carlin's narration is still there. Oh, so that's what I'm supposed to do, huh? So that's one redub I can understand why it happened, but the other ones like Little Robots and Bing, I don't really understand why you would dub a show that's already in English to English. Doesn't make any sense. And here's the zombie. Oh, hi again. I guess you've won the game. Anyway, it was so much fun. Feel free to stay as long as you want, but don't forget to say goodbye before you leave. Alright. I won the game, huh? Alright, so... do I leave now, or do I just, stick around, or is there something else that I forgot to get, huh? Okay, so they're talking to the zombie, and then they're going this way. Because if they go back to the TV, I'll just go back to the TV and go back to the bunker, and then see what else I can do in other areas. Yep. Yeah, they just picked up. Oh, it looks like they picked up the Dream Catcher, not the Sun Catcher. Later. I remember how you mentioning during 2005, 2007, the shows during all those years of the Forked National Anthem were Winx and Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Yeah, because when 2006 started, Sonic X, Sonic X had already ended and was pulled a little bit before. Sonic X being pulled, what a shock! Right before that anthem, and of course they'd lost the rights to Mew Mew. They'd lost the rights to Mew Mew. They didn't lose the rights to One Piece yet, but it was airing on Cartoon Network at the time, and Shaman King had ended a year before. So all they could keep were Winx and Turtles. So they replaced them with Ultimate Muscle. Because Sonic and X and G.I. Joe Sigma 6 were replaced with Ultimate Muscle and Cramp Twins for the summer as the comedy hour. And as mentioned in that fight for the Fox Box thing, they had to use a stand-in for the Cramp Twins voice actors because the Cramp Twins uses union voices. Lucian is voiced by Cass Susie, who's probably best known for, I think she was Phil, Lil, and Betty DeVille in Rugrats, Lola in Space Jam, and Cubert Farnsworth in Futurama, and Lucian is Tom Kenny, SpongeBob, of course. Those have been all 3 of those years would have been X-Men, Spider-Man, Bobby's World, and Power Rangers. Yep. And yep, from 95 to 97, it was that was back when Power Rangers still followed a continuing story through all the shows instead of rebooting it every year. So that too. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I gotta go back to the... Oh, I gotta find the zombie one, so... I gotta go back to the zombie and talk to them about one more thing. I gotta go back to, yeah, back to the zombie. Come with me. Oh, hi again. You want something? Come with me. What? Are you serious? I can finally leave this place? At last, it's happening. Well, let's go then. So the zombie is coming back to the bunker. So am I, like, recruiting people from all these places to the bunker? Can I open that chest? Can I finally open that chest? Nope. The sun catcher is already being placed. Wonder if I can speak to the zombie before I go to another world. Yep, huh? There they are. Oh, hi again. This place is very interesting. Don't mind me, I'm just researching some stuff. I noticed Fox had sometimes brought back show for the summer as well. I know Eek came back for the summer of '97, just a few days after 4th of July, after being taken off in November of '96. That's true. They would just sometimes run them back probably because the rights hadn't expired yet. I mean, I remember, of course, with stuff like Monster Monday and Cartoon Cabana, they would bring back that because they would sometimes bring back old stuff. Because I don't know if Space Goofs, Toonsylvania, and Goosebumps had actually ended by the time Monster Monday had started, but they all re-aired every Monday afternoon. And of course there was Cartoon Cabana, which was I think they brought back that was like a compilation of Eek the Cat, Space Goofs, Casper the Animated Series, and a bunch of other shorts from other shows that had already wrapped up. That was where, and the wraparounds were just these talking hands. Like there was like Manny, Donald, and Dippy, if memory serves. Mm-hmm. Because I can't remember because I had also remembered mentioning Kids WB doing something similar with the Cat and Birdie, Warner Rooney, Pinky Brainy, Big Cartoony show, but I'm not sure which of them came, whether Cartoon Cabana or the Cat and Birdie, Rooney, Pinky Brainy, Big Cartoony show actually came first. I think. Because I know that it's interesting how Eek the Cat came back for 2 summers in '97 and '98. That's true. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it came back as a standalone show. Not counting. Not counting Cartoon Cabana. So what world is the guide maker going to, are they going to next, Okay, they're gonna go, rock around, okay, yeah. They're going back to Pink World, So I'm gonna go there too, Oh, whoa! So I guess the more things I complete in those worlds, the more coverage it is, huh? The more things I complete, the more what would I say? The more stars I get, huh? So what happened? So what am I doing in the Pink World, I mean, maybe I can finally do something with that little shell guy. never figured out what they wanted. Like, seem. Mm-hmm. I know Sonic X was sort of brought back as a summer show not long after CW4 Kids launched, but at least they sort of because it was on for longer than probably expected. Yeah, Sonic X, I remember after Sonic X ended and got pulled for the comedy hour of Ultimate Muscle and Cramp Twins, it did actually first return for one summer back when Fox still had 4Kids TV, but I think that was probably to promote their upcoming video player, because it lasted a little bit into the fall schedule, but then I remember when it was pulled, I think it was either for it was for a second Dinosaur King, which was later replaced with a second Viva Pinata. There was an ad before it saying you can watch Sonic X from where it left off on 4Kids.tv. It was brought back once again as a filler to emphasize the switch over to CW4 Kids, just as a filler there. But then, it wasn't on the CW4 Kids launch schedule, but it was actually started in January of 2008, and it never left. Because a combination of A, it was doing so well, and B, 4Kids' financial situation with the recession and chaotic sales going down. So they weren't really able to get a lot of new programming, so they ended up using it as filler a lot during their programming droughts. And the Yu-Gi-Oh lawsuit didn't help and kind of made it. It did get pulled when Vortex launched, only briefly. Well, yeah, because what happened there was after all that big fiasco with the Yu-Gi-Oh lawsuit, 4Kids when the Yu-Gi-Oh lawsuit happened, a lot of the companies and a lot of the drought and while 4Kids programming drought had looked like it was going to be solved, the companies started backing out because they didn't want to get their hands dirty due to the lawsuit. So 4Kids had sold most of their assets to Saban, which is how the Vortex got formed. The assets included the block as well as Sonic X and Cubix, and the broadcast rights for Dragon Ball Z Kai. Vortex didn't want to put had probably just bought Sonic X Saban bought it probably just because it was doing so well in the ratings. And then, after a couple weeks, they had done a Do You Want Sonic X to come back? Because their initial deal was that they had to air, an hour and a half of Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows per week. So they had done so by airing, of course, new episodes of Zexal, an encore of last week's Zexal, and they started the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Back at Season 4, likely because the tournament legal Seal of Orichalcos card had come out and they wanted to promote that. as well as some other cards like the legendary dragons and the very infamous Berserker Soul, which is what spawned that meme with Yugi repeatedly attacking Weevil even after he'd already lost the duel. This just isn't your day. Breaker, attack him again. Point is, so I guess they'd gotten out of their deal, and they asked if they want if they wanted Sonic X to come back, because I remember Sonic X ended up replacing the Zexal Encore because they only had to air 2 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh per week, and so they just ended up airing New Zexal, and they just started airing Yu-Gi-Oh Classic, continuing the Waking the Dragons episodes. Because yeah, they'd also bought Dragon Ball Z Kai because there were still because Toonzai and CW4 Kids had only aired about the first half of, well, what existed at the time. Final Chapters wasn't around because Funimation, like I said, Funimation had backed out of their deal when the Yu-Gi-Oh lawsuit happened, so which is why 4 Kids ended up running episodes 1 through 52 to death. But with Saban at the helm, they were willing to air the rest of Kai at the time. As for Cubics, the CW still wanted them to air an hour of EI programming, and Cubics fit that bill. And yes, we've already been in this conversation already about how it does, or yeah. When the Vortex dissolved, I do know that I think that the rights to Sonic X just kind of, which is where had 4 Kids been able to stay in the TV game, that's where they would have lost the rights, and Saban just kind of picked up the rights from where 4 Kids left off. So I remembered on their Hulu page they had Sonic X and Cubics there, but Sonic X ended up leaving the their Hulu page and going over to TMS's page, implying that's just when the Saban just let the rights expire. Cubics actually stayed on there for a long time. I think it actually stopped it and became legal lost media when Hasbro, and like in 2018, when Hasbro bought Saban, and the Hulu page just completely disintegrated. Yep. And they never had streaming rights big streaming rights for DBZ Kai anyway, although they did stream it on myvortex.com. Let's see now. Back to the guide. I also do, which actually kind of brings me back to some old memories. Before it was announced that the Vortex was going to be leaving, we had already known that DBZ Kai Final Chapters would air in Japan, and DBZ Kai would be joining Toonami on Adult Swim, and some people wondered if Vortex and Toonami would air the show at the same time due to rights issues, but I remember they were wondering if, since we didn't know Vortex was going to go, would it be able to air on a kids network and an adult network at the same time? And I remember myself voicing the fact that The Tick used to air on Comedy Central and Fox Kids at the same time. I kid you not. Furthermore, when The Tick aired on Comedy Central, it would air near South Park. And South Park was way, 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 way more controversial than anything that Adult Swim's Toonami has ever aired. Probably more controversial than anything Adult Swim has aired, period. Not counting Fox shows like Family Guy. So yeah, so if the Vortex had been able to survive, I don't see why it would have been a problem to air DBZ Kai on both networks, and because especially when Saturday mornings on life support back then, and and when the Tick was airing, Saturday mornings were all the rage. It would have been a lot easier for the people to make controversy. I get the feeling that was the reason why Cubics was brought back to CW4 Kids in 2210s, because with them losing the rights to Winked Club, Cubics was their only EI show that fit the Toon's Eye lineup. Yeah, the only other EI show they still had at the time was Magical Do-Re-Mi, and Magical Do-Re-Mi isn't really action-adventure oriented. They did actually bring it back to the CW4 Kids shortly before Winx Club left and was replaced with Cubics, but I think that was mostly because I remembered seeing it on their Toonzaki site where they were hosting a lot of uncut anime and started uploading uncut Sonic X and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I'm wondering if they had plans to do that, to make an uncut version of that show too. That brief revival there was just to promote its presence on Toonzaki, but then as I go again, the Yu-Gi-Oh! But probably higher demand for Sonic X and 5Ds, and of course the big lawsuit kind of ruined everything, huh? Because I know they later were able to reacquire Magi Nation from from Cookie Jar, which also briefly aired on Toon's Eye, and Magi Nation actually did have a second season. It aired in its entirety on Netflix and briefly aired on Cookie Jar's short-lived Cookie Jar Tunes and This Is for Kids lineup on This TV, although it didn't actually finish there. And I remember they, in the thread on Toonzone Anime Superhero, we had heard that it was going to air on the CW4 Kids Toon's Eye alongside new to broadcast Dragon Ball Z Kai and some Rainbow show that by Rainbow, the guys who did Winx Club and Hunting, something with Jules Verne, which I think was going to be their new EI show, but then, of course, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh! Lawsuit, everybody backed out. Ooh, looks like there's a note in one of these rooms that I missed. Let me go back and read that note. Huh. It's not in this version of the game. If I crouch down and... I noticed Cubic seemed to be very on and off during 4Kids Toon's Eye during 2010-2014. Yeah, Magi Nation had replaced it for a little, because like I said before, because they were planning to air because 4Kids had been planning to air season 2 of Magi Nation. I don't know what happened, but there was like a 3-year delay for Magi Nation. No, it was a 2-year delay, because yeah, the Magi Nation finished airing Season 1 on Kids WB shortly before the block was replaced. And then Season 2 had aired on the This TV network in 2010, and then was later uploaded to net. It didn't finish airing there because This TV, even though the block was owned by Cookie Jar, they just looped the first 40 episodes, even though Magi Nation at this point's total is 52, over and over again until it was pulled, and during that it was uploaded to Netflix with all 52 episodes. Yep, Netflix airing new episodes of a show before it was cool. For the record, the two of the most of Netflix's most famous continuations were Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Arrested Development, and those weren't going to happen for another, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. I think it was 2014 or 2013. Yesterday, I saw the father touching one of the chandeliers. He was so disturbed, I think he is hiding something. Maybe the only one who realized that something is wrong with him. I'm going to find it out. It seems like you could be our friends. Silent. There's really something about Cubics replacing Winx when the right expired. I noticed, yeah, Winx was the show that replaced Cubics back on the Fox box. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, yep. What goes around comes around, they say. Because, yeah, when the CW4 Kids started, they ended up becoming, at first, just being Kids WB was a new coat of paint. They had Will and Do It and Magi Nation at their EI shows, and I'm not sure if we discussed this earlier, but they actually had kept Will and Do It instead of Magi Nation, and I think it's because they were really trying not to repeat Kids WB's infamous Big Kids Go First mistake. So they ended up airing the first 4 hours as comedy and little kid shows. It was Will and Do It, Skunk Fu, Viva Pinata, and Go Go Riki, and the rest of the block being the more action-packed shows, Ninja Turtles, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Spectacular Spider-Man, Chaotic. Probably, like I said, I'm not sure if you remember Kids WB's little infamous Big Kids Go First mistake, which I remember they even mocked on an episode of Animaniacs, because which is what got Freakazoid and Earthworm Jim canceled in the first place. But then, of course, that in itself was actually compromised a few weeks in because they ended up replacing Skunk Fu and Viva Pinata with the classic '03 Turtles. Because I do remember they were airing Go Go Riki not in the very early thought that the EI show was usually airing, at least for the moment. Then later on, when the block on Fox was gone, they started airing Sonic X before Go Go Riki and also Spectacular Spider-Man, just because Disney had bought the rights completely there. But yeah, it was Will and Do It and Go Go Riki for a while. I think it was like in April or May when they replaced Will and Do It with a double Go Go Riki. Yeah. And then eventually they just put the EI hour back in the first block and just replaced one of the Go Go Rikis with Winx Club, and then eventually it was an hour of Winx Club. Then half of it was replaced with Magical Doremi very briefly, and then both of them were replaced with Cubics. let me go back to the guide right now. Speaking of Magical Dormy, I read that it was planned for the fall 2006 lineup of 4Kids TV, but never ended up returning. Yeah, that's true. What was the second half of season 1 in Japan ended up being part of season 2, and it might have had something to do with the toy licensures, because I remembered they had mentioned LE Craft and Faradagio toys, or in the Japanese version they're known as Onpu, and I can't remember what Faradagio's Japanese name was. But instead, the fall lineup had Kirby on it, even though that was never even supposed to be there. That was there for a combination of two reasons. One, to air off the some episodes had been skipped over for reasons I don't because it ran out of time, like the ones right before the end. And I remember the episode, The Thing About the Ring. I don't know why they skipped that one. That was just the one where Cerebra wanted to get the ring for Lady Like. And also there was a dental dilemma, which I remember Michael Hagney spoken about when it was going to air. That episode was supposed to air back in its original spot, but because Fox wouldn't let them air it because it painted dentists in a bad light. So it was a combination of that, as well as Kirby Squeak Squad for the Nintendo DS coming out. So they wanted to promote that, so they ended up airing Kirby instead of Magical Doremi. However, after the holidays, I thought that the Doremi would be replacing Kirby, when Squeak Squad wasn't becoming as important to promote, but they instead aired they just replaced it with a second Ninja Turtles Fast Forward. At first, I thought that was just because they were trying to promote the 2007 TMNT movie, but then Turtles just stayed, like I said, it just stayed on even into fall 07, so... But eventually, the second season of Magical Doremi became an online exclusive, and it aired exclusively on 4Kids.tv. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it was because of the toys falling through again, because I do remember Magical Doremi did have toys, but I guess they just weren't able to make ones of Ellie and Faradagio. Yeah. I find it interesting that when Kirby was brought back to 4Kids TV a little while in the summer of and fall of 2008, when Season 4Kids was new, that was around the time that Kirby Superstar Ultra came out. Well, yeah, I'm betting that's no coincidence. Because like I said before, just like the time I mentioned it was brought back just to air the final episodes and the episodes that it made up the Fright to the Finish movie, that, like I said, that they had made a contest to win a copy of Kirby Squeak Squad. That they probably timed that on purpose. Let's see. Snail is useless, huh? Let's see, they're in the church. Okay, we've already read that book about the concrete, huh? Okay, well, there's something I never tried before. I find it interesting. Yeah, because I do remember. I noticed you mentioned CW4 Kids being Kids WB with a fresh coat of paint initially. I remember noticing this when watching promo because the Kids W bumpers were the same as Kids WB, it felt like. That's true, yeah, sometimes when I said it was a fresh coat of paint, I mean, literally, they would, for the first couple weeks, they would literally use the same promos, except they just replaced Kids WB with CW4 Kids. But oddly enough, new promos that came out just simply called it The Kids Network. I remember on Kids WB's final day was a contest called about an online Magi Nation game, Battle for the Moonlands, where you could win in-game currency. And on the promo, they would just call it, to find out, watch The Kids Network, even though they had a big Kids WB logo there and then. They were probably trying to keep the name ambiguous, unless it was promos about the CW4 Kids coming and the promo was new. They were probably just trying to keep the name ambiguous at the time. That's something. That's the word. Rest in peace. The Great Lords awaits for those who believe. Okay. Ooh. Well, they all say that. Does anything from the back? Nope. What am I gonna? Okay. I'm confused. What? Let's see, what else am I supposed to do in here? Because yeah, it looks like I've hit another dead end. Am I supposed to just read all those signs? Because they all seem to say the same thing. I noticed there were also a few shows that only stuck around for the first few weeks of TMNT, since once they brought Chaotic TMNT and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX there, they were gone. Yeah, that was Skunk Fu, which later came back, World of Quest, Johnny Test, and Eon Kid. I think we already know why Johnny Test left, but Eon Kid still had 2 episodes left to air. They eventually would air on Amazon Prime Video. World of Quest actually also had some had more to air as well, but and I don't remember when that aired in Canada. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. I know that Tom and Jerry Tales and Spectacular Spider-Man still aired double, probably just because they were doing so well. They also brought back the Batman, which after Kids WB had replaced it with World of Quest, but that was probably because they still had the rights for it for a bit, and The Dark Knight was coming out in theaters, and they probably just wanted to promote The Dark Knight movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, and like I said, and for very obvious reasons, they could not take off. They couldn't take off Will and Do It or Magi Nation because Winx had to stick with Fox for being EI, and Goko Riki wasn't ready yet. But yeah, I do remember some games about Tom and Jerry Tales and the Batman were actually ported to the 4Kids website at the time, when they were getting ready to do the transition. Because I think it's because I'm guessing it's because 4Kids was only to stick around for the fall. 4Kids was probably only able to license, even though it was only for 2 weeks, Magi Nation, Skunk Fu, and Will and Do It, and and until Disney got their hands on it, Spectacular Spider-Man. I remember, yeah, 4Kids actually wanted to air season 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man on the CW 4Kids, but I think they were just outbid by Disney, and Disney just wanted exclusive rights for it to air on Disney XD. Huh? Probably also helps that I think that was I don't remember if that was before or after Disney had bought Marvel, but it might have been a sign of things to come. It looks like I got to do some I got to time my jumps for this. Tom and Jerry Tales, right? Yeah, the rights to Tom and Jerry Tales ran out in September. Yeah, the show had already ended. The show had pretty much ended on its own terms at the time. So it's not like they could really keep it around for too long anyway. Eh? Yeah. I remember I used to think Johnny Test was a goner at the time. Oh boy, was I wrong! But again, I'm willing to bet Cartoon Network had just sprung for exclusive rights to that, and 4Kids was unable to license it at all. Yep. And we all know, and the Batman was well past its expiration date at the time, because most WB animation shows tend not to last 52 half-hour episodes. The Batman lasted 65, so we was lucky to have lasted that long, huh? Because, yeah, I also remember even when the Kids WB site became CW4 Kids, they even had mentioned on their splashes on the site, despite them not airing it all on the block at all, Legion of Superheroes and Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get a clue, saying that watch Legion of Superheroes and Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get the clue on CW4 Kids, which was literally the Kids WB website with the fresh coat before before TMNT, Chaotic, and GX came, even though you never were able to watch those on CW4 Kids. Kids WB had replaced them before 4Kids came in. So I know what to do, but it's going to be very difficult to pull off. Something I tend to notice, since I tend to read a lot of schedules, a lot that 4Kids did replace Winx with the Adrenaline Project for a while. I guess the Adrenaline Project must not have done well, since Winx came back several months later to replace it. Yeah, that's true. Adrenaline Project, probably because they wanted something new for their EI programming, and I don't even know if Adrenaline Project even was supposed to be EI in the first place, because from what I heard, when Adrenaline Project aired in Canada, there were no little factoids on the screen. When it aired in the US, there were little factoids on the screen that didn't air in Canada. I think 4Kids might have actually added those just so they'd have an excuse to slap the label on it. But yeah, Adrenaline. Yeah. But I heard that another reason Winx came back is because I remember when they were during the list of most popular shows that were being watched on the 4Kids site, Winx Club was actually second to Yu-Gi-Oh, second to classic Yu-Gi-Oh. So I remember seeing it there, and they even mentioned that in a promo that Winx had come back to the block due to its online popularity. Yeah, because 4Kids had perfected the whole online streaming thing, like I said. Before it was cool. Oh, man. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't get a running start for this. It's not jumping over a pit, it's just jumping straight up. Dang it. Let me watch the video again and figure out how are they doing this? Okay. Did they get a running start, huh? Okay, you can jump on that just from that. Just right there, and then just jump over it. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking a much more roundabout way of doing this. I should be able to just jump up here. Crouch and jump? No, you can't crouch and jump. What controls do I have? Controls? I wish I could crouch and jump like Banjo and Mario can. Resume. Just jump. Might as well jump. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, that scatting was not in the original. Wait, was it? That was the Glee version. Also, one other thing I should probably do. I'm not surprised that classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the most you'd show on 4Kids website. I had a feeling it took a while to return to 4Kids was due to them having newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Yeah, that is definitely true. Yeah, because, I think the only two gaps of not having classic Yu-Gi-Oh! On Saturday mornings was, of course, wanting to stick with GX to promote the newest cards and it being a new show and everything. Now this it actually was going to return around the time that 5Ds had started airing on Cartoon Network, because I remember they actually had kind of taken a big skip. After Yusei's duel with Kallen, they were planning to air the show on the show almost left the lineup, left CW completely, and was going to be replaced with classic Yu-Gi-Oh! And have 5Ds exclusively air on Cartoon Network. But then at the last minute, it came back. It was airing again at 7 in the morning because, frankly, 5D's net wasn't really doing super well in ratings wise. But they didn't want to cancel it because it was still making them a lot of money from the cards, and they wanted to promote the new cards as well. But I'm guessing at that point, on the CW, they had skipped all the way to from episode like 36 to like 42, which also leaves a major plot hole as to why Yusei just fell off his dual runner and became injured, and then now suddenly he's just walking around as if nothing happened. I'm guessing Konami wanted them to skip those episodes and keep it on the lineup because there were some cards in those episodes that they wanted to promote. The skipped episodes eventually did air on the 4Kids website and Cartoon Network, but never on the CW. And they're still on Hulu and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was the first time it was going to happen, but then later on, even though it was again during another big Dark Signer duel, they later did pull the show from the lineup just when they could to get and they were able to get Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! To return to the block while 5D stayed as a Cartoon Network exclusive at the time. It disappeared again briefly when Cartoon Network dropped 5D so that they could air it on the CW, but only to return later in the fall. And the rest is history, and it never left Saturday mornings until Vortex ended after that. Yeah. Okay, in the video, they're able to just jump on this just by walking over here and jumping like that, but I'm not. Not while running, not while not running, not while crouching. I gotta get over that fence somehow, huh? What if I stand still and then tap the button? Hold the button. Let me go back to the controls over here. Yep, huh? But if I change the control... Well, if I can't change the controls, no, you can. Sensitivity? Yeah? What does that do? Does it change the sensitivity of the buttons? Because if it does, then maybe that could be my key. Jump, 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 jump. sensitivity low. But if I take the sensitivity to low, then what'll happen, huh? Well, that's not doing anything, When I was researching Fox Kids, something I noticed that it seemed like Fox Family being a failure from day one played a part in Saban selling the library to Disney. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because they had bought what was then the Family Channel, hoping that they could have a big cable network to compete with Disney, Nick, and Cartoon Network, huh? But that ended up being a failure, and that ended up sealing Saban's fate at the time, huh? Mm-hmm. Let's try the other side, and wait a minute. Am I? That one was easier to jump onto. No, if it wasn't for that, how about there's a gate over there? Just gonna get over here. Get a running. Maybe I can practice over here and get a running start. Jump. And let's see. So, you know, comparing this to what's going on in the video, I think it might be time to call it quits for now. But the thing is, I'm not going to say anything bad because this is an indie game and it's actually version 1.0. So, you know, there's stuff like this is bound to happen. I'm going to log off now, but I'm going to go see if I can get in contact with Crimson Cat, the developer of this game. I'm wondering if they can release a patch for this, because the guide that I'm seeing right now, what I'm able to do here, I can't do in a guide. So, seeing in the guide, I can't do here. So, yes, it was fun. Yeah, I know it was a little confusing at times, but like I said, indie games, you know, I'm usually much, much more lenient when it comes to indie games, and especially ones that just recently came out. And part of me wonders if they have rushed it just to get it ready for the turkey bundle, then, you know, like I said, I'm not going to blame them for that. I'm not going to fault them for that. So, I'm gonna go see if I can get in touch with Crimson Cat and let them know if maybe they can release a patch for something like this. If that happens, I'll get back to the game and play it again. But let me just hit back, and I'll just hit quit the game. So, yep, goodbye, and this will be I would say it's my last short stream, but I've been on for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, so next time I'll decide what I want to play. Then I'm probably going to either continue something, and because that's it for my tests. I didn't test the rest of the Wii games because, like I said, it turned out that the whole data erasing thing was my capture card, not the Wii itself, or any of the software I installed. So I'll decide what I want to do next. I might continue Legend of Zelda. I might continue DKC Returns. That was a pretty popular one. So I'll see you next time with whatever I decide. And for now, end stream.